anything that led you to stay out of religion? Is there anything that happened to you?
I think there is something in Christianity specifically about lambasting people for the way that they live and the kind of institutionalized religion. You know that your faith is not a private thing; it is a demonstrable. You know, you have to act in these particular ways to show that you are a believer, or that you know.
Yeah.
And that I don't know. It didn't sit with me particularly. I think
Yeah.
faith is between me and God, or
Right.
whatever is up there.
Yeah. So I think most of the Christian, when I spoke to them, and I find this thing that they say, I didn't really connect with the creator that has been introduced to me. So in order to define the creator, when you define creator as a human being and part of the creation, then often you have this trouble reconciling the true concept of God. Does it make sense?
The true concept of God.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Tell me more about that.
So basically what I'm saying is every human being knows deep down there is a maker. No one can deny that.
Okay.
And that is a built-in information. It does not need an extra software to build.
So yeah, totally.
Right. And Islam, we call it fitrah, means innate disposition.
Okay.
Means every soul was created with that knowledge there is a higher being, and then you submit to that higher being. And that is the true sense of connection, I would say. Now, the moment you add to that concept of creator with something else, that human might get confused.
Sure.
Now,
it's like a meta level.
So let me give you an example.
Nature.
So whenever we define that being with the creator, the name is called Allah. And that Allah defined himself, he is all powerful, all knowing, all seeing, all hearing, and
everywhere.
he's not everywhere.
No,
his knowledge is everywhere. He's not physically everywhere.
Okay, interesting.
For,
So that is the difference
if you
from
say
Christianity.
so we don't believe that God is imperfect. So God can't be perfect and imperfect at the same time. God is always perfect. Now imagine if someone say God is imperfect and perfect at the same time, I would say that's not the nature of God.
By contradiction.
It is. Because like, can you say a married bachelor? Does it make sense?
Okay.
Does it make sense?
No. Well, no, sure.
So same way, like,
okay.
so the creator is all perfect. So suddenly he chose to be imperfect, or can he do by imperfection? He can, but this will not go against it will go against his nature.
Right, sure.
So therefore, what we say, the manifestation of God through human being doesn't make sense. Because the moment God become a man, that means God come from the perfect realm to imperfect realm.
Yeah, why would he?
Why would he? Exactly.
Yeah.
So therefore, it doesn't make sense.
Right.
Then we go back to the original nature of human being, that knowing there is one maker, which is all-knowing, all-powerful, and all-seeing. So therefore, if you believe in that, then you can't say God is everywhere. Does it make sense? It's paradoxical.
It's logical. Yeah.
It's logical.
Sure.
And then if Creator created the universe, then everything has purpose in it. Collectively, we will have a purpose.
Okay.
Because the Creator defined him as Al-Hakim, means the all-wise. So that is one of the attributes of the Creator.
Right.
So if the Creator is all-wise, so do the all-wise entity create something that is no purposeful? It doesn't make sense.
Does the Creator create every being?
Every being, yes.
Not just like the beginning and everything goes out from there.
No, so for example,
every single person is a result of the Creator.
And Creator has a different way of creating things. One way is create from nothingness, and another form is creation from creation. Like for example, God created the first man, Adam, from out of father and mother. Now he created through my parents, But my parents didn't give birth to us. They are the median and means that we come into the world.
Okay. Uh-huh.
That shows that creator's ability that he can create from human to human and out of nothing as well. So the both possibility has been fulfilled. And then again, if you look at Adam, then Eve was created without a woman.
Uh-huh.
Then the only possibility left, can God create a man without a father? Who can that be? And God has fulfilled that as well.
Well, because
Jesus.
is Jesus the father of Adam?
No. Jesus is we believe in Islam, he's a prophet and messenger of God.
Right.
So, if you look at the
Different
creation,
from Muhammad.
all of them, they have same mission,
Same mission. Okay, yeah.
right? They
Yeah.
all have the same mission.
Yeah.
They came to different times, different people. But the message is same, the mission are the same. They never tell people to worship them, but they said worship God alone.
Yeah.
And now imagine if someone come to you and tell, I am a messenger of God.
Yeah.
Firstly, you would say, okay, show me your miracle that I need
think
to believe.
So?
Yeah, that's
for the proof.
yes, of
So
course.
But what?
Because without proof, someone can be lying.
Sure.
And if the God is all powerful, do you think he will not give an example of his glory and power through his?
Well, why is it necessary?
Because without that, how can you know that he's speaking the truth?
Can't we just have faith in one another?
Sorry, say again.
Can we believe in one another? Like, what is the purpose of skepticism? What is the purpose of distrusting someone's testimony?
Because God knows how he created us, and often human beings go against the nature of how God wanted to. For example, God tell us, don't lie, don't cheat. He embedded that knowledge, original goodness within us.
But
Right?
so many people lie and cheat.
Right. Therefore, we need a guidance. Why? So that it can externally, you need a governance. Because as a human being, intrinsically, there are goodnesses. So God has created the free will within us. So you can either choose to be good, choose to be bad. Now, the one who will exercise the goodness option, the God said, I kept you paradise for you. And the one who will exercise the other option, which is opposite to the goodness.
And this, in your mind, is this reward or incentive?
Yes.
You know, because there's a difference between
Yeah.
those two
So
things.
basically, the simple thing is that is heaven and hell, just like good and bad.
Yeah.
The way good and bad cannot be equal, right and wrong cannot be equal,
Yeah.
just like heaven and hell not be equal.
Sure.
The one who do good and the one who do bad, they're not equal.
Yeah.
The one who believe and do good and the one who disbelieve and do heinous crime, they're not same.
Yeah.
So Allah is saying, Creator is reminding us, do you think I will do injustice to my servant?
Sure.
Right? Everything is making sense about Islam.
But as far as individual choices
Yeah.
go, do you think this idea of salvation, or like the of heaven and hell,
Yeah.
or the promised land or not, do you think this is a motivator to do good or ill, or do you think it is not about incentive, it's about reward?
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like psychologically speaking.
Yeah. So, for example, the Creator created us for a purpose, and that purpose has been communicated through messenger. And the messenger came in. I'm answering your question, but it requires an additional information so that you will understand. So that Creator tell us the purpose. Creator is not coming to us to tell us the purpose.
Yeah.
So he chose us a human being over any other creation.
Yeah.
And then human being comes and show us what is the purpose, exemplify through the character, and they show that how to follow the God command, what he wants, the purpose of your life. And God said, your purpose is to test you. God said, I have created you to test you. And the test is in between a time frame of death and life. So one point we are dead, means non-existent, and then we will die. So within that time frame, the test period is. And the one who will acknowledge this life and the bounty and the grace of God and do the work that God has commanded and follow the prohibition that God has told us,
Yeah.
then he will attain the mercy. And this mercy is the God's mercy will lead you to the salvation, means the heaven and hell.
Yeah.
Now, contrary to this is the Islamic concept.
Yeah.
You have other concept that someone has to die for your sin,
Right.
which is injustice. Because imagine
Yeah.
if let's say all of them are sinner, like 10 people here,
Yeah.
and I wanted to kill you to forgive all this, and you are not a sinner.
Right. Yeah,
Now
that
you can
feels a bit
say,
wrong.
you can label as this is a mercy, but where is the justice?
Oh yeah.
So therefore,
for sure.
exactly.
Yeah.
So the concept of the true concept of Allah saying, we often in every Friday in the sermon, Imam say to the audience, Inna Allah ya'muru bil adli wal ihsan. That God instruct you,
Yeah.
do justice and ihsan, do kindness, show gratitude to help one another.
Yeah.
وَإِيتَاءِ ذِي الْقُرْبَى وَيَنْهَى عَنِ الْفَحْشَاءِ الْمُنكَرِ, and stay away from the fawahish, the things that Allah displeased.
Okay.
Lying, cheating,
Yeah.
killing, all these things that will be detrimental, damaging. So every time we pray, we connect with the God and ask God to help us to stay on the correct path. Why? Because when God created the human being, He is testing us. So when God said, I'm testing you, that means that deception also there. And that deception,
There's a way to
yes,
fail at the test.
yeah. One thing confirmed, that the devil is there everywhere.
Yeah.
You can see people's action are devil,
Yeah.
and devil, always tells you in the back of your mind, don't want to do that, don't do this. Even as a Muslim, when come to prayer time, devil give waswasa. It tells you sleep. You can wake up and read the prayer later on.
Oh, sure,
Right?
sure, yeah.
It
Sure.
doesn't control you, but it give you this waswasa. Means something. What's the right word for English? Temptation, right? Exactly, exactly. I was looking for that word. Yeah. So the Creator created this life as a test,
Yeah.
and then He tells us, send us the guidance. Why? This is a $1 billion question, not $1 million.
Okay. Can you hold it just for
Yeah,
a second?
yes.
Let me check that my friend is okay.
Yeah.
Hey.
How are you? Good to see you.
Hi,
There we
hi.
go.
Hi, my name is
What
Aziz.
About
Yeah.
Islam.
Fantastic.
Do you know much about Islam? Or?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm sharing with her. So I said I'm gonna give her a $1 billion question, not $1 million.
Huge.
My
So
question was whether heaven and hell are incentives for rewards.
yeah.
This is where we're at, right?
So this is the last destination, basically. So the life is a test, and then whoever passed the test, who goes to the paradise, and whoever failed it, they goes to the fire. Right? This is the simple, but it's not that simple how I said it. Right? Because God's grace and mercy in middle. Right? So let's say someone prayed and fasted all his life. Because of that, he can't go to paradise, because it cannot repay even the one eyesight blessing. That, let's say you put one eyesight in one scale and all of your lives worship in another scale, the eye will be outweighing the scale of your deeds. So therefore,
What eye are we talking about?
any eye, the eye, the God given the eyesight,
How come it outweighs all your deeds?
because that thing, if I give you $1 billion and I say, I will give you $1 billion now, I want two of your eyes, would you give me?
No.
Now that's your answer.
Should we get going?
Okay.
That's your answer. Did you realize that? That's your answer. Now imagine that blessing, because we didn't grow that eyesight, we didn't create the eyesight, we didn't own the eyesight. It was given free. Where is the payment? The payment is there is a payment. We don't give payments for this. We give payment for everything. He will give you a drink, maybe you will say thank you. But the things we hold within ourselves free, we have not given, and that's what Allah said, one of the verses in the Quran, very striking verse, He said, وَمَا قَدَرُ اللَّهَ حَقَّ قَدْرِهِ, that majority people do not give rights to the God. And Allah said, another verse, فَقَلِيلًا مِنْ عِبَادِيَ الشَّكُورِ, very handful of people are truly grateful. Means you can be grateful to the human being, but when it comes to you as a human being and the things that are given to you, you are unaware of gratitude. And Islam not only fix that gratitude, it's also fix the direction of gratitude. Like for example, if you give a worship to a human being, that you are directing the worship to a human rather than the source of. And that's why one of the amazing verse in the Quran, it said, do not worship sun nor the moon, but the one who created both.
I think that's a great note to finish the song. Thank you so much.
And this is, shall I give you a copy of the Quran or?
No, this is great.
Yeah? Look
thank
after
you so
yourself.
much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Have a lovely day. Bye. Bye. Alhamdulillah, I have a conversation with this lady. I hope she taken the message of Islam. Alhamdulillah, she looks sincere, and may Allah guide her to the truth. We all make dua that may Allah show her the guidance, and she looks very sincere, and I hope this message will be a positive note for her. May Allah accept our da'wah, and may Allah guide her to the truth. Assalamu alaikum.